Okay. All right. Welcome to the nuisance review board meeting for April 15th. We have a quorum, and we'll start with approval of minutes from our March 18th meeting.
I'll make a motion we approve the March 18th Berne Nuisance Review Board meeting minutes as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. For the same sign. Okay, before we get started, ma'am, are you on the phone? Okay, so you had a question about where we were at on the camper issue that's being talked about.
Yes, sir.
So we have not discussed anything about campers at this point. That is still under review. There will be discussion and those things will be talked about at some point in time in the future, but at this point we have not done anything with that. So, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
Morning, John.
Morning, folks.
Good morning.
Okay, property review is the first item on our agenda. And in your packet, you have pictures from March 17th and also April 14th. And it looks like the first set of pictures is from 466 Baltimore Street. You can see that fence has been put up since the March meeting, which we had given him until the 1st of April, but then extended it to the deadline today. I believe that was one of them, wasn't it, that we extended?
Yeah.
So you can see the fence has been put up to at least hide what we used to see in the previous picture.
And the fence actually is the white fence in the picture. It goes up to that black color, which is also basically is a fence. It's the exterior of his, what do you say, a storage unit that he had built. And then it picks up the white fencing, picks up back to the tree. So it is a fence. Everything is now contained inside the fence. And honestly, that's what we had asked the resident to do by April the 1st, and then gave him until April the 14th, like we agreed all the properties at the last meeting. So. My opinion is he's done what we've asked him to do. So.
What's the address?
466 Baltimore Street. It's the first one on the packet. You have it there, John?
Yeah, he put that corner of it,
Yeah.
the trailer is still there, yeah. And a truck in back of that, to the west of that garage, is an old red truck sitting there too. That's not in the picture.
Right. And we've not talked to him at all about the truck or the car. So that's not been anything that we've discussed with him before.
Are those his? Are they the neighbors to the?
No, it's a red car. I would assume the red car is his. It's right up there against his garage.
Yeah,
The garage
okay.
door's right there.
Yeah, I see it.
So it's not in the alley, it's on his property.
Okay. Any other comments on that one?
So he meets requirements of our,
That's what we're saying.
good.
Okay, next property is 753 North Jefferson Street. We had given them April 14th as well as a deadline to clean up.
The stuff that we had talked about with them in December when we had the evening meeting and the lady joined us was all of the stuff against the house right on the alley. So if you look at the March 17th picture, it was still there. It was piles and piles of stuff that they had brought out of the house. That has been removed, so they've addressed what we asked them to do when they were here in December and what we've been, mailing them. I know, Shannon, you've been talking with them. They're renovating the house, so they still have some construction equipment there working on the project, but the items that we had specifically asked them to haul out and remove, my opinion is they've remediated those issues, those particular issues.
And they're continuing to work on the inside of the house. Have they given any kind of a timetable to you of what their plan is or anything?
He hasn't called back for his rough inspection yet. He's sent some pictures of how he's doing some things with questions. That's it. But they had a fire, so he had to start getting gut a lot of stuff.
Right.
And then once you start, you find things that might not be quite the way you thought they were, so you keep going a little deeper and deeper. And I think it was a little, a little more than what he thought it was going to be at first.
Yeah.
When she called in, she said that if there was any other concerns to let her know. She left her phone number. If the board had any other things that they wanted to address.
Okay.
I know it's a rental, so the way he made it sound, he wanted to get it fixed so he can get it rented.
I think we should just continue to monitor. I mean, they have
Yeah.
equipment out there. It looks like they're still working on cleaning it up. I think we should just
I
continue.
think monitoring is fine. I don't think they need a letter. I mean, they've addressed what we asked them to address. We have a contact number, which is a bonus. So.
I would say at some point, and that's not this body, I think they've taken care of the nuisance part of it. At some point, I mean, how long ago was the fire? A couple of years? If it was a couple of years, at some point, it might qualify under the unsafe building ordinance, and that's council. But, so I think we'll continue to monitor it through that lens. I think that's probably the best way to go.
Is he
But
doing
the
all the
nuisance
work?
part of it stuff.
Is he doing all the work himself? Is he?
Yeah, and he works at, I think, GM.
Oh,
So he works in between shifts,
And on weekends, maybe.
Right.
Does he work weekends too?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I just know I get texted in the middle of the night,
Oh, yeah.
and then I just see him in the morning,
Yeah.
and I reply, and it might be the next middle of the night that he gets to reply back.
Okay, we'll continue to monitor that property. Next item is, the 306 Wind Ridge Trail. As you know, as you're aware before, we had a picture of the truck in the back of the house, which is still there. We also had a picture showing that, there's also a picture in your packet that shows the vehicle that was sitting on the street, jacked up with no tire, and the tire was laying in the front yard. That vehicle has been fixed and is now in the driveway of that address. And then the white pickup that was on the street that was not tagged at one point in time is tagged now, but it shows yesterday it was in the front yard. But the red vehicle on behind the house remains there, and that's the one that he has claimed numerous times that he's not able to get the title So that's where I think we're at with this complaint.
Tim's not here. Chief Taylor, he's delivered these letters personally. And I know from the letter that is included in the packet, we mentioned two things: addressing the Ford Explorer immediately, which they've done. And as the mayor said, they did plate the one vehicle when we addressed that a month or so ago, but they still have not addressed the Ford Ranger in back and Ford Mustang in front on their driveway. So, I mean, I think we're at the point that they need to be fined for not addressing the Ford Mustang and Ford Ranger. We've given them information on people that they could contact to dispose of them. So I know the last time we talked about fining, the first time there was a fine, we fined them, and then if I remember right, we gave them 10 days, and then we were going to fine them again. So we went through this process with them on the other issue. So my opinion is I'm okay with going down that same road, but that's just my opinion, so.
Per vehicle.
And I don't know so much about per vehicle.
I just was reading over our minutes, and last month we had just said a fine will be issued for each junk vehicle. I don't know.
I don't want to be overly harsh. I mean, I think whether it's $100 or $200, it still is impactful and it sends a message. I would prefer, if we're gonna fine them, to just fine them $100 because they're not in agreement with the ordinance. But again, that's just Ron's opinion.
Any other comments from this group?
I mean, I think we fined him before and he resolved the issue right away, so.
That's what I'm hoping.
I think we're at the
I'm
point.
hoping he understands we're serious. If the police deliver a fine, and I hope.
I'm thinking we should follow through with the letter.
Per vehicle?
Per vehicle.
Yes.
That's what the letter states.
That's
Who
right.
knows about it?
At one point, we said that's what we need to do. Let's follow through with it.
Did he pay the original $100?
Yes, but I told him, he was gonna pay it, and I told him if he plated it, we'd waive it. So I waived it,
Which was that day.
which was the same day,
So you've given him another opportunity.
because he said he couldn't plate it. He didn't know how he was gonna plate it. So then he called me back and he said, hey, I called him and I forget what I was talking to him about. And he said, hey, just want to let you know I went and got plated. And I told him before that if he went, when he came in to talk to me, and I said, if you go get it plated and let me know, I'll waive the fee as a good gesture, okay? So he went, he called me, plated it, and I waived it.
You saw it? Like,
No, I trusted him. I had Chief Taylor went and checked it out.
Chief did.
okay.
Yeah.
There's two different opinions on it.
So let me throw something out before we start figuring out what we're voting on and stuff. So as far as voting members of this committee, the way I understand it, it's Shannon, Calla, me, Chief Taylor, who's absent, Mayor, Dwight, and John. So that's 1, 2, 7-person board. We have 6 here today. So those will be the people voting when we get to the voting point. So Dave, there's like 2 opinions here. So I think somebody needs to make a
Someone
motion,
needs to make a motion,
make
and
a
then-
second, and then we vote
on that motion.
on the motion.
Yeah.
So
I'll make that motion that we send him a letter in regard to the letter that was last sent. That it'd be 2 vehicles.
Are you saying that there'd be a fine,
Fine.
Assessed.
Yeah,
For each
10
vehicle.
days,
that's my motion.
but for 2 vehicles?
Is Tim delivering the fine today? Are we fining today?
Yeah.
And
Whatever
the
we
reason
vote
the
on.
reason I waived is because he did it within the 10 days.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
a question. So how long has this gone on with this property? Are we looking at months and months that this has been that way?
Been since the nuisance committee started.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Not
there
exactly.
shouldn't
not
be
the
any.
complaint, but the condition of that truck behind the house has been there for,
Wasn't this one of the first complaints though?
no,
Oh, really? Okay.
no, it just happened,
This year,
fall.
or fall,
It was
yeah.
fall.
6
So,
months.
so there's been an issue
He's had plenty of
for a
time.
long time.
He's had plenty of time.
But just so you understand, it was within the 10 days. That fine was due, but he went and plated it, and so we waived it. Which he has 10 days to pay it. So he did it within 10 days. So I really didn't do him any favors. I was just following what the rule says.
Okay.
So. But that was after he got the letter saying that he was gonna be fined $100 if he didn't get it plated.
We have a motion.
So there's a motion on the floor to fine.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Just hang on a minute.
What?
I'm asking for I'm stating the motion. I'll ask for the second. Okay? So there was a motion on the floor to fine each vehicle separately. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay? We have a second. So all in favor of fining?
Now there can be further discussion.
Okay. Is there further discussion?
I think the whole deal is, it's what the letter, I don't think we should go back on that letter. If it says per vehicle, it should be per vehicle.
That's legitimate. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what your motion is, and that's what we're gonna vote on, so.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Okay, all in favor of the motion that's on the floor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
I voted on the first one, said I.
Okay, didn't hear you.
I think I was the only dissenting vote.
Motion
Okay.
carried.
Okay, so the motion and the vote was that we send a letter for each vehicle for a fine of $100
For 10 days.
for 10 days.
And if it hasn't been remediated in 10 days, another fine.
Right.
That's what we had discussed the last time.
Which would be, so the 27th?
Yeah, the 25th on Saturday.
So maybe put that date in the letter too.
All right, next item is, the next property is 686 Westlake Strasse. There is an email attached as well that Ron forwarded in regard to discussion and information that he received from Rita Bolenbacher.
Yeah, and I've talked to the resident, and, you know, what I stated in the email that Kelly put in the packet. She sold her house in Muncie last fall. She moved to her mom's house on Westlake Strasse. You know, her household belongings and her mom's are both in the house at this point. She's trying to organize them. You know, she did have some health issues that we were aware of back in December. She has started a new job. And honestly, like I stated in the email, she's addressed almost everything from the original picture. They've got a golf cart there under that cover. And there's still some storage, I would say panels that she did say that when she gets room in the garage, which is completely full, she's gonna put those in the garage as she makes room. So she was open to dialogue. She understood what we were asking her to do. We did tell her in the letter that we sent her on March the 24th that we greatly appreciate the progress that she's made, and I think at this point in time, she's still making progress. So that's my research on this property.
So you are suggesting we continue to monitor?
I think continuing to monitor, just like we did with the Jefferson Street, is appropriate.
She's making effort and she's at least communicating
I
with
don't
us.
see a whole lot of effort though between, in a month, from 3/17 to 4/14, there's not a whole lot.
There was stuff here, like right by the panels in March. All that's gone. So the golf cart's still there. The panels that aren't housing anything at this point in time are still there. So all the stuff she had behind the panels in March and between the panels and the golf cart, there was a washing machine and stuff. Those things are gone.
Yeah.
I mean, progress, not perfection.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Progress.
Yeah.
Man, I'd go help her.
Let me give
If
you,
my neighbor looked like this, oh my, yeah, and this is only a block from my house.
I was gonna say, it's right in your backyard.
Sure.
Front yard.
She's your neighbor,
Front
right?
yard. Huh?
She's your neighbor.
She's looking for room in her garage.
you got room?
I have room in my garage. Presently, no. That's why it's in the garage. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see in another 30 days what it looks like.
Well, I think the thing we have to keep in mind here is she's not ignoring us.
Right.
Okay.
That's true.
So you have to, in my mind, give a little bit of grace if somebody's not ignoring you. And they're making progress. That's just my opinion. Maybe,
Just a reminder.
yeah. Just a reminder to heavy trash because next week, Clint.
Yeah.
Our garbage guys look forward to it.
So we did put
That's a lot of
just so you guys know, just so you folks know, we did put a post out on Facebook that reminded everybody that heavy trash is next week and that this is one way to get rid of items that are sitting outside, that are in your basement, that are in your garage, that are that you want to part with before summer starts. So I don't know if that's going to help any. We also put a message on the utility bill to that effect. So anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Next item is 517 East Main Street. Shannon, would you like to give us an update on information that you have received?
They came in Monday and pulled a permit. So we definitely have progress starting here. They're gonna hopefully start building the barn in May. The builder is finishing a home and has a garage he's got to finish, and company will come here. I confirmed that the metal sheds will be gone once they're done. Actually said the little wooden shed that's over by the alley will be removed too, so.
Awesome.
But yeah, so they're hoping that it'll be done before October. So,
I think one thing I'd like to propose on this property, and I don't mean to cause work, but I think sending a letter to these folks with our understanding of what verbally was communicated would be a good thing to do, so that they know right up front that we're expecting that when the garage is finished, that the storage sheds are going away. And then we have that document to go back to 6 months from now or whenever the garage is finished and they're not removed. You know, basically, this is what you verbally told us. This is what we sent you in writing, you know, and if they have any concerns with what we put in writing, they should come to the May nuisance review board meeting and refute or discuss. So that's what I'd like to see happen with this. It doesn't have to be a lengthy letter, just something to document what we believe is going to happen.
In English and Spanish.
It's legitimate, because I mean, essentially the nuisance board is holding off because they don't want the building permit, so, yeah.
And also, thank you.
Yeah,
yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
It's a good comment, Ron.
that's what I'd like the motion or recommend.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, that's all of the properties under property review. Next item on the agenda is new properties, of which there is one new one that we received complaints for, and that was for 306 South Sugar Street. Was filed for rubbish, tires, vehicle parts, and disassembled vehicles around the property. And we received both of those complaints on March 27th, I believe.
So we have two complaints there, huh?
Yeah, on the same property, that's correct.
So this junk and rubbish.
Yeah, I believe so.
Make a recommendation that we send a junk and rubbish letter to the 306 South Sugar Street property.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, I don't have anything other specifically. Are there any board comments?
I had a couple things I just wanted to say to kind of publicly make mention of a few things that have been on my mind in the last 3-4 days. So the current nuisance ordinance was adopted in 2024. I don't have the exact date, but that's my recollection. I think it was mid-year or early in the year 2024. A big part of the big part of the nuisance ordinance was implementing this nuisance review board. We spent a lot of time and effort putting documentation in the ordinance about the process, complaint flow, form flow, when we would meet, who would be on the board, So that information is documented for anyone's benefit. I really think this board has been very successful in the almost 2 years that we've been in existence. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't always been fast, but I think we're making progress. And the nuisance review board is enforcing or remediating complaints like the new one we got today as they come up. This board didn't establish the ordinance. City council established the ordinance. And, you know, if there are changes to the nuisance ordinance, it'll go through the normal city council, you know, approval and review process. But I know there are some misguided folks out there on thinking what this board does and doesn't do. I just kind of wanted to state what my opinion was. And I'm very thankful that we have people that are willing to be on this board, because it's not the funnest board to be on, to be quite honest with you. So anyways, my soapbox for the day.
On another page, this dirt racetrack on East Hoosier Street that you're aware of has caused quite a bit of discussion in the town.
Yeah.
And I understand that maybe that's been done away with. Are you aware of any?
I'm not aware of that. It's being
I'm
looked
aware.
at and discussed.
I'm aware that someone came to you and was,
Well, we've heard multiple, yeah.
okay, and I don't know.
Right now, it's, we're trying to gather information on if there's been some activity like that in other cities and how they've handled it. One comment I know was that the only way that they thought you could deal with it was the noise ordinance. That's the only thing that's in place is the noise ordinance. It is private property, but it's not anything that any of us are used to seeing,
Sure.
obviously.
Is there,
But it is one of those things that legally, we're not sure what steps are permissible at this point. Is that a fair way to say it, Dave?
with the information that you have received from various towns, is there anything you have looked at or come up with that we need to include in our nuisance?
Not yet. We do have a noise ordinance. There is a noise section in the nuisance ordinance now.
Right.
And
Has to do with decibels.
yeah, it has, a number of decibels that are permitted, and they've been told that they need to call the police if it's too noisy. And I don't think that's been done for the police to get a measurement of decibels.
Have you,
noise.
have you received a number of information from the surrounding towns?
I've received some. Ron's received some from.
And quite honestly, we haven't received a silver bullet.
No,
We haven't
no
rec-
eureka moments.
We haven't received anything that someone has in place that says Shazam,
Mm-hmm.
this will address this problem. Several of them have all gone back to the new
No,
noise ordinance.
Right.
So I think we're still actively working the
And then the
situation.
the noise is primarily decibels, but it also is time of day.
Right.
So, but that needs to be reported to the police department. The police department need to go out and do a reading at that point, and then we have.
And frankly, I'll just say, right or wrong, frankly, a lot of this has to do with just being considerate of your neighbors.
Absolutely.
So, and how do you handle that without a
Civil suit.
legal method to say, and furthermore, we don't have anything in our ordinance that addresses motor scooters or go-karts in your front yard at this point without being able to do research and find out whether that's even legal to do, because it's private property.
Now, if they're on the street, if they're in the alley.
If it's on public property, that's different, but, so it's,
Well, the
We're-
10 to 15 bikes or whatever you wanna call them, took up most of the yard a couple days ago.
yeah, we're aware.
Okay.
We're actively trying, like Ron said, we're actively trying to figure out, what we can and can't.
No, we appreciate that,
So-
and the neighbors appreciate that.
Yeah, we've received videos and so forth, so we're aware
Yeah.
that it's just,
And it's
And
not,
that- and
it's
that's
not my
fine.
neighbor.
Yeah.
It's the neighborhood.
yeah, the neighborhood.
So have you redone or have you looked at the ordinances to add or delete or whatever you're gonna do with the ordinances? Has the city council delved into that yet?
As to this issue?
Huh?
Or as to this issue or?
No, all the
Other
issues on the ordinances. You haven't done? Okay, my next question is, when the board reviews the ordinances and make that decision as to how to redo some or put a little more teeth in these ordinances, whatever you're gonna do, is this board also going to be in that discussion? Or is it strictly up to the city council?
I mean, I'll just throw my opinion out there.
Well, yeah, it's a city council, Ron said he would take it before city council, so I'm not sure how you're gonna.
Well,
handle
I
that.
guess, like Dwight brings up a good point. I had considered bringing it to this board. I'm okay if the city council is making updates to the nuisance ordinance, that we bring it to the nuisance review board, at least for review and input
Comment, yeah.
before we take it to the city council. I think that's actually a good place to stop on the train trip.
Good,
So I like that.
good.
Yeah, because the council hasn't been here, other than you.
Right.
The council hasn't been here to see how the
Before
process works.
before it goes, I think for review and adoption at a city council level, this board should see it and at least be able to shoot arrows at it or whatever you want to say.
Good, great.
It's a good suggestion, Dwight.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I'm sure you all recall in, I believe it was January or December at our board meeting when the people sat here in this corner from 140 East Water Street
104?
and, yeah, 104, thank you. And they said they would have it cleaned up that weekend. And they haven't touched it. All the lawn chairs, all the stuff that's laying around outside the house. You know, Swiss Days is coming up. And that's a main, kind of a main thoroughfare there, and that's even where the Swiss Days parade goes right by that residence. And it goes by the antique mall. Something needs to be done with that corner. Really, really should. And even at the CDC meeting yesterday, I brought that corner up and Dave was there and there were a few. That corner needs to be addressed big time.
Well, the 104 East Water Street is one that we've dealt with. I've seen their pickup truck in their yard several times since they were here, full, but I don't know where it's coming from, if it's all stuff inside to me, it doesn't look like there's much outside that has changed. Dwight, I agree with you. The antique mall is, from my understanding, more of an unsafe building issue than a nuisance issue at this point. So that's a different avenue that would have to go down. I don't know that it's been put up for sale. I don't know what her plans are for that building. I don't know that it's occupied.
Somebody said yesterday that Rod Watsonheiser still has some items in there.
I don't know that for a fact. Maybe he does, but I don't see anybody visiting that business. To my understanding, it's been stopped, or she closed up that part of the business down.
Should we make a contact there and ask her what her plans are? What's in her future with that building?
That was going through my mind also, that the contact might be appropriate.
Otherwise, it just sits
Just
there
kind of sit there.
and continues to look
Yeah.
worse every year. And it's not good for the city. It really isn't.
Have you heard anything wrong with regard to that at all?
I mean, look, there's a couple things on the table here. So as far as 104 East Water Street, the last thing that we asked them to do that they were here for was the complaint form that was filed last by one of the businesses in that block. And they addressed what was spelled out in that complaint, and we checked them off as being completed as far as cleaning up the east side of their property. And also when they were here, I think someone asked them to move their lawn chairs to the back of the building, which they did. So the things that they were here to do, then at the next meeting, we said they had addressed those issues. So we checked it off. So if there are new things that we think we need to address, then I think we need a new complaint form specifically with what we think they're in direct conflict, non-compliance with the nuisance ordinance. So that's what I'd say about that property.
But then, hadn't they agreed that they would clean it up that weekend?
Well, the
Because
thing-
I mentioned to them the west side and the north side of the residence, and they said they would take care of it. And I've seen absolutely no evidence of that.
I mean, I'll go back and look at my meeting minutes. I'm pretty sure at the next meeting in the minutes, we'll find that we said that they addressed what they said they were going to address. That's why we haven't been talking about it. So I think
That's how I remember.
if we have new things, then we need to put a new complaint form
I think-
together.
I think the time before that, they had weeds growing up by their ramp and we addressed those things, but I think the latest was what Ron said,
Well, we
that
addressed everything in the
the
back.
back. And then the chairs needed all moved to the east back corner.
And they
That's
did
what
it.
I'm remembering, but
So, It needs monitoring, but if we have something specific that we want to ask them or tell them that this board thinks that they need to address, I would say filling out a complaint form before our next meeting that we can review it makes sense, kind of like we did with Shook Street. So that's that one. As far as the antique mall, Dave, I'm just gonna ask from a city council hat, from a board of works hat, from a nuisance review board hat, where does that fall?
There's, at least what I've seen, there's no rubbish on the outside, which means that really the nuisance committee there's nothing for the nuisance committee. As to peeling paint does not necessarily mean that it's an unsafe building. So, yeah, not sure.
Correct.
But at the same point, it does make sense for the city to contact them and see what they're thinking. I agree, that's a good thing to do that anytime for any commercial property. To try to improve on.
We'll reach out,
Good,
okay?
yeah, that'd be great.
And I think,
See what her plan is.
And I think back to the 104 property, I still think there's things that could be moved out of sight that aren't big items, but they also make it look like it's rubbish, even though it may not be rubbish, but it kind of appears to be, or it looks like things. It looks junky still because of all those items, so if they would be moved to the back, at least you wouldn't see them. But
That's right.
I think that's what you're seeing as well.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't look good for the city. It just doesn't. You know, if we all have that look, we look like the state that is south of here. I've been on those back roads on the bike and it's, yeah.
Mayor, I had one more comment if I could.
Sure, yeah. Still board comments.
I guess I wanted to go back to the vote that we took earlier. I'm in favor of finding them, definitely in favor of finding them.
Okay.
I was just not sure I wanted to fine them $200 knowing their financial situation. So I'm not opposed to the fine and I'm okay with the way the vote tallied, but I voted no just because 100 I thought was enough to send a message. So, but I understand why we did the 200. So I just wanted that. I wasn't voting against the fining.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah,
Okay,
No, I'm kidding.
that's fine.
now I'll buy your breakfast. No.
Okay, anything else? Motion to adjourn.
You got it.
Second, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Okay.
You got it.
I don't know why.